Well, hello and welcome to your Pilates practice today. If you're not already there, if you want to lay yourself down, make yourself comfortable. We'll begin as always by breathing in through the nose, out through the lips. In through the nose, out through the lips. Arms alongside the body, legs lengthened away. Have a breath in. Breathe out, take the arms overhead, have a point through the toes and in. Breathe out, bring the arms down, relax the feet. Have a breath in. Breathe out, take the arms up, point through the toes and a breath in. Breathe out, bring the arms down, relax the feet. Have a breath in. Breathe out, take the arms up, draw the toes back, have a push through the heels and in. Breathe out, bring the arms down, relax the feet. Once more, breath in. Breathe out, take the arms up, draw the toes back and push through the heels and in. Breathe out, bring the arms down, relax the feet. Bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet onto the floor, hip distance apart. Arms out towards shoulder height, palms facing the ceiling. Have a breath in. Breathe out, drop the knees to the right. In as you hold. Out to the centre. And a breath in. Out to the left. In as you hold. Out to the centre. And just keep that movement going as you breathe. Just rolling over the soles of the feet. Arms and shoulders relax. Twisting into lumbar spine, lower to middle back. Just moving at the pace of your breath. When you come up from the left this time, you can stay in the centre. And then bringing the knees up towards the chest. We're going to do exactly the same again, side to side as you breathe. As you go to the side, try not to let the knees drift away from you. Try and keep them up towards the arms. That keeps the back nice and flat. Okay, so we're not twisting a bent spine or an arched back. Have a breath in. As you breathe out, take the knees to the right. Then as you hold, out to the centre. And a breath in. Out to the left. Then as you hold, out to the centre. So again, just find a pace that suits you. Work with your breath, not against it. You can make the movement as big or as small as is comfortable for you. So you might go a couple of inches to each side. Remember, if those knees happen to go near the floor, they don't ever touch the floor. You hover them just about an inch away. That ensures that the core muscles around the centre stay engaged throughout the movement and you're not straining to lift the weight of the legs back off the floor. The weight of the legs is already held, if you like, by those muscles. If you do want to strengthen further, the straighter your legs are, the stronger the exercise becomes. Eventually aiming toes into opposite hands is the full exercise. Don't bother looking at the screen because I ain't going there, okay? I'm just keeping it nicely in the centre for me today. You do the same if you need to. Maybe one more to each side. Keeping it under control. Right to the last movement. And the next time you breathe out, you can take those knees all the way to the right and they will rest on the floor this time. On a breath in, lift that left arm up to the ceiling. And as you breathe out, bring the palms together. So we're going to twist upper spine. Now if your head's at an angle, which mine is a little bit, you can, of course, grab a cushion, a pillow, a blanket, a block if you've got one, pop that just under your head to help to bring the spine fully in line through the body. Okay, arms at shoulder height, try not to have them too high, make sure they're in line. The closer your knees are to your chest, the stronger it is to make that opening. The further away they are, the softer it gets. Okay, so I have my knees somewhere in the middle so that they're pretty much level with the line of my hips. Okay, that's a good spot for me. So, as you breathe in, lift that left arm up to the ceiling. As you breathe out, open out into the space behind you. As you breathe in, come back up to the ceiling. And as you breathe out, the palms come back together. In as you lift. Out as you open. In as you lift. Out as you close. So just keep that movement going at your pace. Trying to work the back of that left shoulder towards the floor. Don't worry whether the hand touches or not. It's the back of the shoulder that we're eventually trying to get towards the floor. It's the twist in your thoracic spine this time. So we did lumbar spine with the feet on the floor. We did lumbar to thoracic with the knees over the chest. And this is thoracic to cervical, so upper back to neck. So if you can, as that left arm lifts, follow it with the head, follow it with the eyes for as long as you can. Okay, do protect your neck if you need to. If you can, watch it all the way over. You watch it all the way behind you, all the way back up and back to close. Okay. Maybe once more. And when the palms do come back together this time, you can hold it there. So we are going to circle that top arm around. Okay, so make sure you've got obviously that space to make that movement if you need to shuffle around a little bit. So we're keeping those left fingertips as close to the floor as we can. Breathe where is comfortable for you with this particular exercise. And we're going to sweep the arm up towards the head. As it goes past the head, we roll the upper back towards the floor. The arm sweeps around behind us, all the way down to the hip, before we roll the upper back away from the floor and the palms come back together. So up towards the head, round into the space behind you, all the way down to the hip, and the palms come back together. So still, if it's comfortable to turn the head, try and take the head with you all the way around. Also, if you need to soften a little bit or a lot, you can bend that left elbow, particularly as it goes past the head, that top corner. Do bend the elbow if it helps to release the shoulder to come down and around. Okay, nothing wrong with that movement at all. You can have the arm off the floor if you want to. You're just making as big a circles as you can. Comfortably is the important word. Okay. So when the palms come back together this time, we're going to circle back the other way. So we're going down towards the hip, roll the upper back towards the floor, sweep the arm up and around towards your head. As it comes past the head, roll the back away from the floor and the palms come back together. Down to the hip, around behind you, up to the head, and the palms come back together. So same rules apply on this side. If you need to bend that elbow, lift the arm to get through that top corner particularly, then please do. Okay, don't force anything, don't strain anything. Keep the movement comfortable. You must be able to keep a comfortable breath. If the breath gets jagged at all, or you're holding your breath, you're working too strongly. The body isn't comfortable. Okay? So by all means you can challenge yourself, but if it affects the breath, you've gone too far. Okay? When the palms come back together this time, you can hold it there. Okay? So we are going to go over to the other side now. So as you breathe in, lift your left arm up to the ceiling. As you breathe out, open out to the space behind you. As you breathe in, you bring the knees back up to the centre. Have a shuffle if you need to. And as you breathe out, drop those knees over to your left. Inhale your right arm up to the ceiling. And as you breathe out, roll onto that left side, bringing the palms together. As ever, have a shuffle around if you need to. Okay, so I'm going to keep my back to you so you can see what's going on in the back half of the circle on this side. You saw the front half when we're moving the other way. Again, I've got the knees level with my hips. Further away they are, the kinder it is. Closer to the chest, the stronger it gets. Okay, so palm on top of palm in front of you. And if you're not already moving, as you breathe in, lift that right arm up to the ceiling. As you breathe out, roll out into the space behind you. Breathing in as you roll back up to the ceiling. Breathe out and the palms come together. In as you lift. Out as you open. Excuse me. In as you lift. Out as you close. Just keep that movement going. Again, as you breathe. So as you roll over, it's the back of the shoulder that you're trying to work towards the floor. It doesn't matter really what your arm is doing. It's that movement down. Don't know if it doesn't touch. It's that drop in the shoulder and the arm just lengthens out behind you. You can roll it back up and palms back together. And again, if the head will follow, you keep an eye on your thumb or your fingers. Come as far over as you can. If the head doesn't like it, neck doesn't like it, just come as far as the middle. Okay, don't feel you have to take the head, excuse me, all the way over. Keep the movement smooth. Again, just matching the movement to the length of your breath. One more. When the palms come together this time, you can hold it there. So we're going to circle on this side with that top arm. Yeah, we always come up to the head first. So start to sweep that right arm up towards your head. Circle it around behind you. All the way down to the hip. Come over the hip. And the palms come back together. So up to the head, around behind you, down to the hip, and palms back together. So on this side, again, you can see that rolling that right shoulder as close to the floor as you can to bring the arm down and around. But if you need to, say you can bend the arm, you can have it away from the floor, just as big a movement as you can make, okay? Don't force anything, that's the important bit. So you can lift the arm if you want to as well. Shoulder can be away from the floor if it doesn't want to go all the way down. It is Pilates, keep it under control is your important bit. Even if you have to make adjustments, keep it under control. Now when the palms come back together this time, we are going around the other way. So down towards the hip, around behind you, all the way up to the head if you can. Roll the back away from the floor and the palms come back together. Down to the hip, around behind you, up to the head, arms together. So same applies in this direction as you go around, particularly this top corner. Bend the elbow, lift the arm if you need to bring it around. Just trying to get some movement in the shoulder, some movement in that thoracic spine. So make the movement as big or as small as you can get that arm around to make a circle. The last couple. Then keep the concentration, keep the focus all the way to the end. Last one. And when the palms come back together this time, you can hold it. So we're coming back to the center. As you breathe in, lift your right arm up to the ceiling. As you breathe out, roll it out into the space behind you. Breathing in, bring those knees back up to the center. Have a shuffle if you need to. And as you breathe out, you can hug those knees to the chest, or you can stretch the legs away, whatever feels comfortable for you. Now, because we've twisted the spine from tailbone to crown, we need to stretch it back out again. They don't counteract each other. Remember, going left and right, you always need to come back to the middle. So we are going to go into our bridge. So I'm going to take this cushion out from underneath my head. So there is a thought that you should never do bridge with anything under your head, because you can overextend your neck. However, you want a lengthened cervical spine, which is your neck. When you're practicing bridge, you want that to be nice and long, and bridge will help to lengthen. So if you are somebody who's got kind of an exaggerated curve, and when you lie flat, your chin sticks up, and you're in that kind of position, just having something under your head can just help to tilt you back, so that spine is a bit straighter. So only if when you're led on the floor, your spine is in the natural position and lengthened anyway. You don't need anything under your head. Only if your chin sticks up, okay, when you lie flat, you can put something under your head just to bring that line, all right? So that is absolutely fine. So knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. The wider those feet are, the kinder it is on your back, hips, knees, ankles. No closer than hip distance. That's heels together. Toes out to 10 to 2. And then swing your heels out in line with your toes. Okay. Arms alongside the body, palms down. Fingertips towards the heels. And lengthen those arms. Don't just let them hang around. Okay. Keep them engaged. On a breath in, it's a pelvic tilt. And as you breathe out, roll those hips up towards the ceiling, just as far as you can. Breath in at the top. Breathe out and roll the hips back down. In pelvic tilt. Breathe out and roll the hips up. In at the top. Out and down. Keep that movement going as you breathe. Now, if you're not already, those of you that like to move the arms as well, you can take the arms up and down as we did last time. So the arms stay flat on the floor whilst you take your pelvic tilt, your breath in. As you breathe out and the hips start to roll up, the arms roll up. And they go as far over your head as you can. You have a breath in at the top and nothing moves. But then as you breathe out and the hips start to roll down, you start to bring the arms back over. And when the back of the hips touch the floor, that is when your palms should touch the floor. So everything comes down at the same pace. Move as you breathe. Of course, rest where you need to. And if it's not comfortable to do a full bridge, for whatever reason, can be digestive issues, can be issues in the chest, in the spine itself, in your hips, your knees, your joints. You don't want to go as high. You can take your pelvic tilts, breathing in as you tilt the pelvis, breathing out as you release it back down. Okay, so you can just keep your bridge to that first movement. If you want to come a little bit higher, you can breath in, pelvic tilt. As you breathe out, just come to the bottom of the ribs. And down. Okay, so you can adjust the height of your bridge, the strength of your bridge to suit how you feel today, of course. But whatever you're doing, just the last couple of bridges if you want to take them. Again, keep it under control all the way to the end. When the hips do roll down this time, again, you can hug those knees in, or you can stretch the legs away. A bit of both if you want to. And release. Good. Okay. We're coming up and over onto hands and knees. So just coming up when you're ready. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. So when you're on hands and knees, you're trying to have your spine at its natural length. So when you look at the side of the body, okay, you've got a nice box shape here, all right? So you're not hunched up there, trapezium, I think that is, something like that. Okay, and you're not stretched out here anywhere. Okay, so that nice box position. Okay, if it's strong on the hands and the wrists, as ever, you can drop those elbows, but you've still got that box. Okay, that's the important bit. So we are going to raise and lower your right leg. So you're going to lengthen the leg away, toes on the floor, pointed or flexed. This bit is going to stay nice and flat. Okay, don't sink in the shoulders, stay nice and tall. Have a breath in. Breathe out, pick that right leg up, in and down, out and lift, in and down. And remember, if you want to make it stronger, you can take that left hand onto the left thigh, or you can wrap it behind the back, making sure that back stays nice and flat. You can feel that it's flat. Also make sure you're not dipping at the back to lift the leg. Remember, you're not arching in that direction. You're also not lifting and twisting the spine that way. So this is all staying nice and still. Last couple. When those toes touch down this time, you can draw the knee under, take the weight off the hands and the wrists. So you can give the fingers a clench and a stretch. You can give the wrists a roll around as well. Okay, just release any tension in those hands and wrists. And we'll do the left side. Okay, so hands under shoulders, or elbows under shoulders, knees under hips. Make sure you've got that nice box shape. And lengthen the left leg away. Point the toes or flex the foot. Have a breath in as you breathe out. Bring that left leg up. In and down. Out and lift. In and down. So of course on this side you can take the right hand onto the right thigh or wrap it behind the back, keeping that back nice and flat. So again, you're not dipping into the back to raise and lower the leg, it's not that movement. You're also not trying to lift the leg too high that it pulls the hips out of line. It should be here, not here, okay? Just bringing that leg up and down. I have to tap my toes for a minute, I've got cramp in my toes doing that. Okay. Don't sink in the shoulders if you're getting tired, stay nice and tall. Do drop to the elbows if you need to. Keep it under control. Last couple. When those toes touch down this time, draw the knee under. You can sit back, have a fold down if you want it, come all the way down. You can sit on the heels or you can sit over to one side. Again, release those hands and fingers. Release the wrists. Good. So, we are going to take opposite arm and leg away. Okay, so we've worked strongly into the shoulders and the upper body, lead on the back. We now obviously do that from the front of the body, but on our hands and knees. Okay, so again, you can do it from elbows if you want to. Hands and knees. So, left arm forward, palm facing in. Right leg back, toes pointed or flexed. Have a breath in. Breathe out and lift. In and touch down. So we're staying long, lift and down. So the arms stay straight, the legs stay straight. Look straight down, keep the neck nice and long. So if you need to at any point, you can come to elbows, still make the movement. Last couple. Last one. When fingers and toes touch, you can draw them under and again release. Give those fingers a clench and a stretch, give the wrists a roll. If you feel any tightness in the shoulders, just roll the shoulders forward. Remember, don't go backwards, otherwise you hurt that big C7 vertebrae. Okay, that's the kindest way to go, is forwards. So, speaking of ways to go, we are going to go in the opposite direction. So, your right hand is going to go forward, palm facing in. Your left leg is going to go back, pointed or flexed. Okay. Try and look straight down if you can. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. Have a breath in. Breathe out and lift. In and down. Out and lift. In and down. Again, just keep that going as you breathe. Strengthening whole of the back. Really good for those lumbar multifidus muscles. Okay. So again, you still do it from the elbows if you want to, if you need to. Last couple. And fingers and toes touch this time. Draw them back under. And you can release. Good. Again. Fingers, hands, wrists, shoulders. Just release whatever you need to. Good. So, I'm going to now drink water at that point. And we are going to come down onto the front of the body. We're going to take a few darts at this point. All right, so arms can rest alongside the body. Back of the hands to the floor, palms to the ceiling. Can lift the arms if you want to. Front of the shoulders off the floor, so make sure you're not collapsing here. Shoulders are back and engaged before you even start. The wider apart those legs are, the kinder it is on your back. Try and keep the legs soft. Forehead or chin on the floor. What feels comfortable for your neck. Have a breath in. Breathe out and curl the body up. In and down. Out and up. In and down. And just come up and down as you breathe. If you want to lift arms, you can bring the arms in. But just as we did from a Superman position, which is the opposite arm and leg, try and keep the head in line with the spine. So you're not looking forward, you're looking straight down throughout the exercise. So the head only comes off the floor because your chest has lifted it. So try and avoid the temptation to look forward as you come up and down. Okay, just keep it nice and steady. Now I'm not coming too far. You can go further if you want to, because my rib still hurts. Okay, so I don't want to put too much pressure on it. Just another couple if you can. And when you come down next time, you can either just turn the head on one side and relax there. If you prefer to bring the hands under the head, you can make your pillow for your head. Bend your knees if you need to. Just release the back. And coming back down. So we are going to take some cobras here. So as always, you've got your options with your cobra. You can have the arms out in your cactus position. You can make your diamond underneath your forehead. If you want to do your praying mantis, you can come up on your fingers. Okay, so I'll just do a couple of each with you. You can do whatever variation suits you today. Okay, so again, the wider the legs, the harder it is on the back, whatever you do with your arms. So either in cactus, diamond, or praying mantis. Have a breath in, breathe out and curl the body up, in and down, out and up, in and down. Just come in as far as you feel comfortable. Again, that you can keep that control, that you're not forcing any movements. Just roll up and down with your breath. Such an important exercise. Your cobra, of course. Excuse me. Really helps to keep those vertebrae and the discs in line, which is what we want them to be. If you have got discs that are starting to push out on either side of the spine, that kind of thing, or they're starting to push out, your cobra helps to manipulate them back to where they need to be. Okay. And it also feeds your spine because it squeezes the discs to squeeze all the rubbish out. And then when you release down, the discs suck like sponges all the goodness in that they need. Okay, so good way to feed your spine and your spine health. Good. So last couple if you want to take them. Again, keep that control right to the end. And the next time that you do roll down, you can release at the bottom. Okay. Got a frog in my throat now. Excuse me. Okay. So, I want to do some of the stretches that we were doing when we were all together, which I'm sure will be lovely news to some of you. So we are going to do the psoas stretch, that low lunge coming into the hamstring stretch. Okay, so does the front and the back of the legs, this sequence. So it will give you all the options as always. So coming back up, push back up towards your hands and knees. Okay, so gonna bring your right foot up between your hands. Shuffle it forward. You can see my fingers and my foot, so about half of it sticks out over the end of my fingers. See that line there, if you're looking? Okay. And then slowly sink your hips towards that heel. So the reason we shuffle that foot forward, so we're looking for a straight line from knee to ankle. So mine's a little bit forward there. Can you bring it back a little bit? Okay. Doesn't matter if you're too far forward sometimes, just don't want you in that kind of position because that's really bad for your knees and your ankles. So make sure your knee, have a look down, is directly underneath your knee. Okay. And sink your hips, that's the important bit. Right. You can stay there. You don't have to move from that position. If you want to go deeper, you can bring both hands to the inside of that right foot and drop the body a bit deeper. As you can see there, if you want to bend elbows, you can bend elbows. All right, so eventually both might come down. It's easy to get the outside one down than the inside. And you can come down to there, still sinking those hips. If you want to lift the back foot as well, you can lift the back foot if you want to. Okay. You can do that from any of the positions, whether you're upright or whether you're down towards the floor. You can lift that back heel. Strong on the knee. Okay, it's a big pull. So you're basically stretching from the back of this right knee, down the hamstrings, through the groin, through the quads to the back knee. All right, and somewhere through your groin is where your psoas goes, so that's the bit that we're stretching. But we're going to go the other way, so if you have dropped down, bring yourself back up. Hands either side of that right foot. Then very carefully, we're going to start to take the hips back. Walk the hands back with you. You're going to start to lift these right toes to come to the heel and keep taking the hips back, trying to straighten that right leg as much as you can. Your hands might not be long enough to rest on the floor. I've got very long arms. So you can rest a hand, hands on the leg if you want to. I'm next to the settee here. I could come up a bit closer to the settee and put a hand on a chair, okay, if you want to, that's absolutely fine. You can walk forward, put the forward bend in. Can take that bottom all the way back. Sit on your heel, still drawing those toes back, and take your forward bend from there, okay? Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Good. So, don't move. Stay where you are. Just going to show you both ways of getting out of this position. I'm not going to leave you there stuck. So, if you're up on the knee and you're lifted in that position, okay, you start to bend your right knee to bring that right foot flat to the floor. Walk the hands forward, and then you bring the knee out from underneath you and you're out, okay? If you're sat on the heel, here, you sit towards a straight leg. So you're going to sit towards your right hip, so you can release that left leg out from underneath you, and you end up there, okay? So wherever you've ended up, we're back to hands and knees, and we'll do the left side. So with your left foot up between your hands, help it if you need to. Wriggle it forward, so about half of it sticks out over the end of the fingers. You can see that on this side as well. Slowly sink your hips towards that heel. Make sure you've got a straight line. From knee to ankle, and you're sinking those hips. So you can rest on that thigh, I haven't got a problem with that. Okay, keep the weight off the hands if you want to. You can, I didn't do it on the other side, but you can come up to the top if you want to instead of going down. If you're coming down, bring your left hand over the top. So both hands are on the inside, and again you can drop. You come towards elbows if you want to on this side. But sinking your hips is the important bit. Okay, so don't worry if you're up here. Just try, it sounds odd in a strong stretch, but try and relax as much as you can. The more you can relax, the more the body weight and gravity will start to pull you down. All right, but don't force it down, don't push yourself into the position. Just hang around, okay, and see what happens. If you want to lift back foot on this side, if you haven't lifted the back foot already, you can pick the back foot up. But watch your knee, pad your knees if you need to. I'm on a rock hard floor as usual. Okay, but do pad those knees with cushions, blankets, towels, anything you've got is fine. So we are going to go the other way. If you have dropped down, come back up on your hands. Both hands either side of that front foot. Start to gently ease the hips back. Pick up those left toes. Take the hips back, trying to straighten the leg as much as you can. Coming up on fingertips if you need to. You can fold forward. So you're trying to keep the upper body as far forward as you can. But again, don't worry if you're a bit more upright. It's a bit of a balance up there, but you can be up here. Again, you can stick a hand out and hold a chair, a settee, something like that. All right, so just to wherever is comfortable for you. If you want to go all the way back, you can walk back. Sit your bottom gently on that back heel. Try not to collapse onto it. Keep drawing those toes back. If you can come forward on this side, you can come forward on this side. Okay. Breathe. Just be wherever you need to be. As long as you're drawing those toes back, you will get a stretch. If you can put the forward bend in as well, it stretches the leg from both ends rather than just the foot end. So you're getting a real big stretch right into the back of the leg, the hamstrings, the back of the knee, the calves, right down the length of that leg. So again, to come out, if you're upright, on your knee, then your fingers start to bend that left knee to come forward and then walk the knee out underneath you. If you're sat back on the heel, roll to your left, sit on your left hip, and then that leg releases out. And you can relax the legs. Good. I need a drink of water after that. Because we are going to lay back down. So, shuffle yourself down. Roll down if you can. You can roll onto one side and lower yourself into the floor, wherever you want to go. Have a little shuffle, make yourself comfortable when you get there. All right. So we did our sciatic twist last time, because it's one of our most popular ways to finish a session. I am going to do the full sciatic stretch this time. All right, so knees bent, soles of the feet on the floor. Cross one ankle onto the opposite thigh. The foot that's on the floor comes off the floor and you feed the hands around that thigh and draw it in towards you. And same as with bridge, if you need to and you're more comfortable to have the upper body lifted, there's nothing wrong with doing that as long as it doesn't strain your neck. Again, you can put a cushion under your head if you want to, if you find you a little bit like this. Okay, just put something under your head to bring you in line. You can hold yourself there if you want to. If you are able to hold and keep the body on the floor, you can keep the body on the floor. I know some of you like to straighten the leg. You can straighten it if you want to and draw that leg in. But it makes it stronger because you're working these hamstrings as well as these hamstrings. Okay, so if you want to stretch your back particularly and through that area where the sciatic nerve goes, got to think of it then, keep the knee bent because you can draw the leg closer to you with that leg bent than you can when it's straight. And the closer you can draw that leg towards you, the bigger the stretch you get through that sciatic problem area. Okay. Try and keep upper body relaxed, try not to squeeze your shoulders. Breathe. Good. Whatever leg you're holding, you can bring that foot back down to the floor. Uncross the legs. And you're back where you started. Again, have a bit of a shuffle if you want to. Just release any tension. And we'll go the other way. So crossing the other ankle onto the opposite thigh. The foot that's on the floor comes off the floor and you feed the hands around that thigh. Again, you can keep the spine long on the floor. You can come up on this side if you need to. It doesn't have to be exactly the same on both sides. We're not symmetrical. One side works better than the other, as we know. The closer you draw that leg, the bigger the stretch you get on that other side. Again, you can straighten the leg on this side if you want to, and walk the hands up. Again, don't brace with your arms. You don't want to lock the elbows. Keep the elbows bent. That relaxes the shoulders, keeps the chest nice and open. Whether you've got the leg straight or whether you've got the leg bent, try not to squeeze and grip. Just a nice relaxed hold. Just gently, kind of fingertips drawing that thigh towards you. Again, breathe. Gently releasing whatever you're holding, take the foot down to the floor, uncross the legs. Good. Walk the feet wide, knees bent, feet on the floor, so mat width, kind of little toes to the edges of your mat. Take the arms out to shoulder height if you want to, palms facing the ceiling. Have a breath in as you breathe out, drop those knees to your right. Just let them fall wherever they come to. If you want to extend, your right foot, the one underneath, hooks over the top of your left knee and the weight of that leg draws the knee maybe a bit further over. Whether you've lifted the foot or not, this left arm, if it wants to, can go a little bit higher. Can go all the way to rest alongside your head if you want to, but make sure the back of the shoulders stay flat to the floor, whatever you're doing. Okay, so you get that nice length down the side. Whether the arm is raised or whether it's out to the side, whether you want it all the way down, you've still got that length all the way down to the knee. Okay, so don't feel that you're missing out if you're not moving arms and legs. All right, it's still a nice big stretch, a big opening through the sides of the body, a nice twist to release tension. If you've moved the left arm, it comes back out. If you've lifted the right leg, it comes back underneath. Have a breath in as you breathe out, come up to the centre. As always, have a little shuffle if you need to. Reposition the feet, little toes to the edges of your mat. Have a breath in, and as you breathe out, drop your knees left. You do not have to move anything. Stay where you are if that is far enough for you. If you want to, it's your left foot, the one underneath, comes over the top to hook onto the outside of your right knee. And it's your right arm, the one behind you, that can go up a little bit higher towards the head if you want to take it up on that side. Okay. Make sure the back of the shoulders are flat to the floor. Try and relax, breathe. You've moved that right arm, bring it back down. If you've lifted the left foot, tuck it back underneath. Have a breath in. As you breathe out, bring those knees back up to the centre. Walk the feet back to the middle. Bring the arms back down by your sides. Lengthen one leg out along the floor. And then the other. Have a breath in. Breathe out, take the arms overhead, have a point through the toes and in. Breathe out, bring the arms down, relax the feet. Have a breath in. Breathe out, take the arms up, draw the toes back, have a push through the heels and in. Breathe out, bring the arms down. Relax the feet. Thank you all very much. Thank you.